Hello. Where's the glitter, Simon?
Wait, it won't be long.
It's Sarah from BBC London.
Yeah.
Hiya.
Good to see
How's
you.
it going? These are codes.
I feel completely underwhelmed by the black and glitter.
These are
Hi, how are you? You too. No problem. Good.
It's really great. Thanks a lot. How's it going? I feel like you're the vibe to that. So much. Look, this weekend we'll be having the biggest Pride London's ever seen. So we celebrate the huge progress made, but we must never be complacent and always we must be vigilant. I am concerned. In the last few years we've seen an increase in homophobic attacks, transphobic attacks. I'm worried about the rise of far-right movements around the world, from the USA to Hungary, from Italy to France, and in our own country, which has led to a situation where parents are protesting outside schools around children being taught about healthy relationships. We've got a situation where a couple were attacked on a bus in London, a misogynist and homophobic attack, and you've got the next Prime Minister using homophobic language. So yes, let's celebrate today the massive progress made, but also use this as a motivation to redouble our efforts to make sure we end forever discrimination against the LGBTQ plus community. You know, when you speak to members of the LGBTQ plus community, they will tell you that some of the homophobia they suffered, the attackers used this language, the same sort of language that he's used. I think one of the things you've got to do when you're a leader, whether you're the mayor or the prime minister, is demonstrate you're the mayor or prime minister for everyone. And we've got a thriving, flourishing LGBTQ plus community, but they have many problems, from discrimination in the workplace to a rise in homophobic, transphobic attacks, to what's been taught in the classroom. So what I want to see from our Prime Minister, if it is Boris Johnson, it looks like it will be, is him realising that language matters, language that is potentially homophobic, or dare I say it's Islamophobic in a different context, is not the right sort of language for a Prime Minister in waiting. And I hope he'll learn from the mistakes he's made in the past to be a better leader than he has been in the past. Oh, it's heartbreaking. Look, we are the most progressive city in the world. It's 2019. It's not 1969. And in our city, on one of our buses, you had a young couple who were the receiving end of a misogynistic and homophobic attack. It breaks your heart when you see those pictures. The good news is the police have made arrests. I'm hoping this leads to charges and prosecutions. The police have a zero tolerance towards any form of hate crime. My message to the LGBTQ plus communities: please report any crime you're the victim of. The police have a zero tolerance towards this. We've got to make sure action is taken where crimes are committed, and if you report it, action will be taken. So I was at a meeting this week with the Deputy Commissioner discussing this event today, Pride London. I've been in touch with the Commissioner today. The police are working incredibly hard this weekend. Leave has been cancelled, rest days have been cancelled. They're working longer shifts to deal with the issue of violent crime, but also to make sure Pride in London is safe. There'll be police in uniforms, police in Pride and the rest of London, but also plainclothes police as well. We want to make sure this Pride is not only the biggest and best, but also the safest as well. It's really important. I don't prejudice any investigation and any prosecution, but the key thing is the police, the security services, the authorities work around the clock to keep us safe. Since the terrorist attacks in 2017, I think something like 19 plots have been thwarted, and the police work incredibly hard. They rely upon the intelligence from members of the public. So if any member of the public suspects anybody could be involved in counter-terrorism or any form of crime, please report it to the police.